Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course, and we're pleased to be joined by none other than the Onion. Todd Bodine will drive the 62 Camping World Toyota for Halmar Friesen Racing this weekend as he chases 800 truck starts. How's it going?
Good, man. How you been?
I've been good. How ready are you to get back into this thing?
I'm ready. It's been a while, obviously. The last truck race I ran was the middle of 13 when I was racing for ThorSport. But I ran a few Xfinity races for Bobby Dotter. I think the last one was the middle of 19. So It's been a few years, but I went to the simulator last week, actually going again tomorrow and getting a little tuned up there. But yeah, we're ready. I mean, it's a beautiful truck. They build really nice race trucks up there at Halmar, and just excited, man. I'll tell you, it's as a racer, there's nothing better than getting behind the wheel.
Yeah.
And I'm a little nervous in that things are different, a little bit different than it used to be, but not a whole lot. So, we'll see. Hopefully, you just got to work into it. I can't go out there and expect to lead the first lap and lead every lap. But we're just gonna take our time, get used to it. Jimmy Kitchens is my spotter, and Jimmy spotted for me at Germain when we won all those races, and he's a really good friend and he's one of the best spotters in the business. So looking forward to being able to get back behind the wheel.
Yeah. I know that you're going to Vegas this weekend. I believe that's a place where you have won at before in the trucks. 2005 to be I think it's 2005.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yep. I am right. I just looked at Racing Reference. It is 2005. So how exciting is it to go back to a place where you have won at and have experience at?
Well, you're going back there, you know that you've done it before and you can get it done. And I think the biggest thing for me is being on a mile and a half, getting used to the way these kids race today. It's a little different than what I did back then with Hornaday and Skinner and Sprague and those guys. We raced hard every lap, but there was a little bit more respect, I guess you could call it, from driver to driver. And today, these kids know nothing but wide open. And, being on a mile and a half, there's a lot of aerodynamics involved, and it's easy to get sucked around, get loose, and all those kinds of things. So, understanding that is a big part of it. And, I got a lot of laps there. So, I don't think, like I said, just get to working into it and getting used to it I think is going to be the biggest thing. Taking my time, hopefully by the end of the second stage, we're up in the top 10 solidly with a decent truck and make some good adjustments to where I've gotten used to it and understand what I need to do, and we can go race them at the end.
Yeah, for sure. Who do you, obviously Kyle Busch is in the truck race, and Toyota's been, there's a ton of Toyotas out there. Those KBM trucks are going to be tough to beat. The ThorSport trucks have proven that, but it's Zane Smith was the first winner at Daytona. But how exciting is it to go into this race, with a bunch of people you probably haven't raced before? I know you've raced Crafton, I know you've raced Kyle Busch before, but most of the field you haven't.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the difficult things. But fortunately, I sit here in my chair every week and I watch them on the TV, and we talk about them, analyze their races, so we can speak on the race hub and on the race day show about them. So I've watched them all and I understand them all. But like I said, they do race differently. The one thing that's been really kind of flattering, I guess you could say, is all these kids are excited to race me. I've had several of them text me and a couple of call and said, "This can't wait to get the opportunity to race with me." They grew up watching me in the trucks racing. So that's going to be part of it. That's really fun. Knowing that these kids do have some respect and are looking forward to it.
Yeah, one other thing I've learned about since I've covered NASCAR is that when people like you come in and race, it's a big deal to them. It's like, oh, I want to race them. I want to race that. Um, what's the toughest thing about Las Vegas Motor Speedway you have to learn as a driver?
Oh boy. Well, in Las Vegas in the trucks, you run pretty much wide open. And if you've got a truck, you don't run the whole run wide open, but if you got a good truck at the end of the run, you're pretty close to wide open. So finding that limit where you can run almost wide open, what groove you can do it in, and being able to do that at the end of the run, that's the hard part. And the guys that can do that, they're going to be the ones up front. That if your truck gets pushed and gets a little loose and you have to start lifting off the throttle, you're not going to be at the front of the pack. You're going to have your hands full because it is such a fast racetrack. That's one thing people don't realize is the trucks actually go through the middle of the corner faster than the other two series. So, that's the tough part about driving the truck, is getting it right on the edge without going over.
Yeah, for sure. Um, and of course, and just a reminder, what are the 6 races you're doing?
Doing Las Vegas,
Yeah.
first one, obviously, then Darlington,
Yeah.
Texas, Sonoma, Nashville, and Pocono.
Yep. Those are 6 good tracks. I know we won't see you until Darlington in May, but yeah, you got a pretty diverse schedule. You got tracks that you've been successful at as well. But what's that going to be like? Because you're going on a road course, you're going on a third style track, and then you got a couple mile and a halves.
Well, it was, yeah, you're right. I've had some success on all of them. I've never won at Sonoma or Pocono, but I've always run really well at Pocono, and that's the last race. Sonoma, the last time I was there in a cup car, I think I finished 8th. That was a long time ago, but
Yeah.
I love road racing. I always have. And, to have the different style tracks wasn't really a consideration. Believe it or not, the first prerequisite for picking these racetracks was which ones can we have the most fun at after the race. This is our last hurrah. It's the last time around, and we wanted to make sure we had fun. And all these tracks, we've got a lot of friends that are coming to be with us, so we're going to have fun afterward for sure.
Yeah, that is that's for sure. And it's going to be fun to see you back out there, of course, in the 62 truck for Halmar Friesen Racing. But Todd Bodine, thank you so much for coming on. Good luck this weekend at Vegas, man.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. Like I said, first prerequisite, have fun, be safe, and hopefully we can be in the top 5 and maybe give them a run for their money at the end.
All right, right on.